morning, friends. It is Wednesday, March 3rd, and we are working on English. But before we get to English, we're going to do a share today. Today's share, we've done a lot of different types of shares. So today, I thought I'd like to share something made out of wood. So what I want you to do for today's share is find something made out of wood, and I'll show you mine here. My little share today is this little chair. So I guess it's a share chair today, isn't it? It's a little chair. It's made out of wood, and it comes from a little house, a miniature Christmas kitchen that my mom made for me. Remember I showed you that little can of tea that was less than an inch long when we did that share? My mom is a wonderful artist, and sometimes she even watches my videos. So Mom, if you're here, I love you. Mwah. This is a share chair. This is made out of wood, and I believe that this chair was made by my grandfather. Now, I might be wrong on that, so Mom, let me know if I'm wrong on that. But it is made out of wood. It goes in my kitchen, and Mom, I promise I'll put it back in when I'm done with it. I just wanted to bring it out to share and to show off this great little toy that you gave me, this little miniature dollhouse. So find something made out of wood, and either take a picture of it, have Mom take a picture and send it to me, or you can draw it at the top of your paper, and I look forward to seeing what you've got. I've seen a lot of good shares on this. Here it is. I promise I'll put this back, Mom, and let's get to English. For English today, you will need a piece of paper. There it is, right here. And let's get a name, date, and title. Our name, I hope you know that one. You're going to put your name. And today's date is 3/3/21. And we're going to call this E for English. And we're going to write sentence. Sentences. I'm going to put this little mark right here. New mark. This is called a colon. And this tells you that there is something coming after this that has to do with this. So we're doing sentences, and the things that we're doing with sentences are quotations. Big word. Quotation marks. That's our special focus today. So I guess I could have made that uppercase. In a title, it's an important word, isn't it? I need to make it uppercase. Okay. Okay. And go ahead and do your yes, no's down here. You can pause the video if you need to. And then come back in when you're ready. So my next share, what we're going to do today is the only thing you're going to need to write today is what we write on the paper. What I'm sharing with you today, what I'm showing you, is going to be on the whiteboard. Okay. And here we go. Let me get a text box and we'll start. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, the quotes that we're using today are from this book, Frog and Toad. I used it a little bit for English homework and had a great time with it. And what we're focusing on today, I said were quotation marks. That is where you put two little marks. They look like little commas up in the air around what the person said. Okay, so they would have a quotation mark, what the person actually said, another quotation mark, and then something that said frog or asked Jill. All right, so we'll talk about these together. That's why we're doing them today. But the first one says, and we're only forgot to tell you, we're only doing 3 sentences. They're kind of long, but yes, you must do every part of the sentence for me. Okay, that's what I'm grading on, is how well you can get your sentences down. So here we go, and I need to write down. Willpower is trying hard not to do something that you really want to do. Said. Now, let's take this sentence and we'll stretch it out. Stretch it out so we have room to work on it. And the next thing we're going to do is put some proofreading marks in here so we know what we're going to fix. And here we go. We know that we have the beginning of a sentence right here, so it definitely needs an uppercase letter. We know that's a given. We know how to do that, right? But right here, since this is the start of what Frog said, Frog actually said, willpower is trying hard or trying not to do something that you really want to do. That's what Frog said. So we need to put quotation marks right here to show what he really said. Okay, so quotation marks are going to go right here. And then down, we find everything that he said. What he said stops right here, doesn't it? And so we need to put another mark in here. This time we need a comma and we need some quotation marks in there. Okay, so we need to do two things right there. Said Frog. Frog is his name, so Frog needs an uppercase letter. And then right here, we need a period. All right. So those are the two things that we're going to add to our, or the things that we're going to add to our sentence today. So now let's pull up a new share, go back to our lined paper, and write that sentence the correct way this time. This is what you need to do, okay? This needs to be perfect on your paper today. So remember, we did our quotation marks, and then our uppercase W. It says will power is trying hard not that you. What did I do? Catch me? Catch me, what did I do? I wrote on my no. No. Try that again. Huh, it's a lot to remember when you do this. Willpower is trying hard not to do something that you really want to do. And remember, that had a comma and then quotation marks, and then we write said Frog, and he's in uppercase with a period. Okay, very good. It was long, wasn't it? They're going to be long today, but we're only going to do 3. And the reason that they're so long is they have quotation marks. And that sometimes makes our sentence a little bit longer. All right, so now let's go back to our share. Maybe. And we'll pull up our whiteboard again, and we'll type in our next phrase. Text here And we need to write. And here's the next sentence. You mean like trying not to eat all of these cookies? Ask Toad. You mean like trying not to eat all these cookies? Asked Toad. That's all it's going to let me get on there. Right of these. And now we need to put our proofreading marks in here. It says, you mean like trying not to eat all of these cookies? Asked Toad. Okay, now we got a little difference here. First of all, what would we always know? If it's an easy one, we can start with the easy ones. Start with the easy ones. We know that this gets an uppercase automatically. Okay, while we're looking at it, can we see anything else that gets an uppercase letter? Oh, what about this guy's name? His name is Toad. So we know he's going to be uppercase. Very good. Now let's work on what happens at the beginning of this sentence. It is a quote. It's something that Toad said. So we need to put our quotation marks right in here. And we know that our quotation marks go down here as well. But we have one more mark. Last time over here, we put a comma in. But down here, we need to put something different in because it's not a statement. He's asking something. He wants to know if frog means trying not to eat the cookies. So he's asking a question. Here's my clue word, asked, right here. Yes? So we need to put in here, this time, we need to put a question mark because he's asking a question. And then those quotation marks. We have two things to put there. Okay? And we have one more punctuation mark. Since this is the end, asked Toad, that gets a period. All right? So let's pull that back up to our paper. And here we go. We need to start with quotation marks. So we write, you mean like trying not to, I don't like how that turned out. Try it again. Writing flip-flop words today. Try not to eat of these cookies. This one gets a question mark because it's a question, quotation marks, and then it says asked because he asked, and Toad with a capital letter because that is his name. And don't forget your period on the end. How'd you do on that? It's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot today, but that's okay because you got this. And sometimes the older you get and the more work you do, the more work you know, so you can do more. I know that sounds crazy, but you have to keep working and you build on your knowledge. Last week, we didn't work with the quotation marks. This week we are, so we've got one more step in our process to make us a better writer. Okay, so that is the second one. That's the second one, and now let's go down to the third. This will be the last one for today. And text box, and we'll do our text box right here. And this last one says, this one's short. Right, said Frog. Okay, right, said Frog. If you notice in here, we've got some, a piece of this story. It's actually a whole page to the story. So we did a whole page today. And Frog and Toad are talking about cookies and willpower. And Frog is explaining to Toad what it means to have willpower. And then Toad asks for clarification right here. He says, "What you mean?" And then Frog answers him and says, "Right." Okay, so now let's fix the right here. Put it over here so we can work with it. And then let's come back up and proofread it. Right. This is the start of the sentence. So what does this get automatically? It gets an uppercase letter automatically. What else gets an uppercase letter here? If you said Frog, you're right, because that's his name. All right. Now, what else do we do? Remember, this is what he said. So we need to put those quotation marks in there. Okay. And this time, that didn't go very well. But if I try to erase it, I don't know if I can. Oh, I can. Put my caret back in there. Make it a little easier to say. C. There's my quotation marks. Now I need another one right in here. And I need to put a comma in quotation marks because it's not got a question, does it? It's got a statement. And for statements, you use a comma. It might seem like you'd use a period, but you don't actually use a period till the end of the entire sentence. And that is what goes right here. Okay. Very good. Now let's get this in. We'll be done with that. Paper. And we open this up. Quotation marks. Quotation marks. Right. Said. Very good. Did you do it? Jamia, did you get it? Jamia got it. Very good. Good work. Good work. A lot today. Oh, what did I do? Do you see what I did? Catch me. Look at my paper and tell me the mistake I made. What mistake did I make? Who knows? Brianna, do you see my mistake? Look right here. I wrote it on the wrong line, didn't I? No problem. We can fix it. Let's fix it. Pen makes it a little easier. We can do it again. It's just extra practice. Glad you caught me, Brianna. Good eye, buddy. All right, let's try it again. There it goes, right. Right. Comma, quotation marks. Said Frog. With a period. All right, very good. I think we got it this time. Thank you for your help. You guys are doing fantastic. I'll see you next for